Before we start today, I want to give a round of applause for my dear friend. He travels with me everywhere I go. He's a wonderful pianist, good friend. His name is Simcha Rabbi. Give him a round of applause. Now, this class was sponsored anonymously from my dear friend Eliyahu Mani Ben Leah, my grandfather, my dear friend Avram Chaim Ben Yocheved, Leah Bat Matfrat, Shlomo Dimitris Salomon Ben Osnat. Today's topic is real friends. Before we start this class, I need everybody to do me a favor. Take your phones, put it in the air right now real quick. Whoever has a phone. Don't be smart. I'm asking you guys to take your phones, put it up. This class is going to be 45 minutes. So if you love yourself and you have a little respect for me, you'll put your phone in front of you, you won't answer it. That's number one. Number two, I noticed that a lot of you guys leave at the end when we have Aravit. The most important part, you guys leave. So if you guys are real men, I'd highly expect for you guys to stay and pray with us. We have a lot to pray for. Back to the topic. Real friends. I'm going to tell you a personal story about myself, one of my good friends that I always dedicate this class to, and what you guys should look out for. I want you guys to understand one thing. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a rabbi. So if I'm talking to you, I'm basically talking to myself. I have nothing that I can teach you. I can opinionate you. Shh. And I'm not those rabbis. I am a gangster. I'll come to you after the class if I saw you talking. All right? So we're going to talk about real friends. Some of my real friends are here. And I'm going to tell you, your best friends are usually people that you argue with the most. Your parents. You know, all of my best friends I met, we ended up fighting each other. That's how I met them. But there's two types of friends that you guys need. You need a friend that's a spiritual guidance, and a friend that, you know, you spend time with. Like you like to say, we like to chill. Get lit. I'm going to tell you a story about my friend Avram Chaim. 6 years ago, I started keeping Shabbos. I met this man roughly 10, 15 years ago. I used to see this guy. He had it all. Singer, dancer, actor, you name it. A man that you want to be next to. That's all I can tell you. Shh. Put your phones away. Like I said, please, 45 minutes. If you love yourself, don't love me. So Avram Chaim, I met him. Obviously, everybody's trying to be cool. We always like to show off. We play handball, we have like a nice little finesse. You know, we're playing basketball, we try to dribble the ball under your legs, thinking, you know what I'm saying? So this guy Avram Chaim, he was always doing the stuff that the cool kids did, but he came from a very religious home. Very religious. I would always see him and like, he would do stuff like this. Watch me carefully. I'm like, yo, what is this guy saying? All the time. Nobody had to tell him that, he would say it. So he would see his friends doing something not right, and he would tell them, but he didn't want to tell them because he felt embarrassed, because he's religious, he goes to shul. He's a moron, apparently, to everybody else, right? He's like, yo, listen, that's not kosher. They're like, yo, why are you telling me what to do, bro? I like to eat here. So I got close with this guy over the years. I ended up going to yeshiva. The yeshiva story is a different story, but I ended up going to Ritzad, Mitzvah Lev Banim in Canarsie Rockaway Parkway, East 87th Avenue K. We were the only white people there. And that school was a juvenile delinquent center, which a lot of good Jewish people came out of. It's scary, right? You pay $15,000, $20,000, $30,000. You guys go to all, I'm not gonna name the schools. You go to all these schools, fancy, you pay $15,000, $20,000. The kid comes out a drug addict, he doesn't know how to act, he doesn't know how to talk to his parents. I went to a school where we paid $150 a month, $200 a month. Some people didn't have money, they still took you. We had 5 rebbeim come out of that school, 5 rabbis. We didn't have a principal. Nobody got detention, nobody got expelled. You got kicked out of the class, you went to go play basketball. I promise you. So I met this guy Avram Chaim in the park. Then I said, look, now I'm going to school with this guy. Maybe I could be cool with him, we could be friends. I knew he liked to sing. He didn't know that I sang. Nobody knew that I sang. I was like hidden away. I thought people would laugh at me. Little did I know all you guys are here now. We would sing in the shul. We would sit on Kiseh Shel Eliyahu Navi and we would sing to each other. By the time I got close with him, Before I got married, I ended up coming by the park and he goes, "You want to come to my house for Shabbat?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I ended up going to his house for Shabbat. And I never forget, every time I used to go to shul, I used to take my phone, and at that time the battery used to come out. So I would take the battery out so it didn't ring in shul. Imagine Shabbat, the rabbi's reading, and all of a sudden, you're like, "Who's this guy came to shul on Shabbat with a phone?" I didn't want to be that guy, so I took it out. I ended up going to his house. Listen to this story. This is something that maybe you may not comprehend. It's a spiritual aspect. I come to his house. I see his father. I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" I see his mom. I try to shake her hand. She doesn't shake my hand. I'm like, "Yo, she just violated me. She didn't shake my hand." But I didn't understand what's going on. She didn't shake my hand because she's Shomer Negiah. She's not supposed to touch somebody else. Especially if you're a married woman, Eshet Ish. So I got close with him, and I remember I was singing in his house on Shabbat, and I said to myself, "Yo, this is it. I want Shabbat every day." That's what my Shabbat consisted of. I sat, I drank with his father, I sang, we took a walk, we drank again, we ate, we prayed. What more do you want? Time passed by, and I noticed that he would always do things in a spiritual aspect. I'll go to shul every now and then whenever I wanted to see him. I still wasn't keeping Shabbos. He's learning stuff that you couldn't even comprehend. We're learning over here about Moshe Rabbeinu. He's learning real practical stuff, Zohar, Kabbalah, and I'm like, this guy is like my age. How does he understand these things? You see these people reading the book, you're like, what are they reading even? That was one of those guys. I had plenty of friends growing up. You know, my father one time, I would always hang out on 108 Street. I don't know if you guys know, but the gematria of 108 is Gehenna, which is hell. So I grew up in that area where it was very, very highly populated with people that thought they were gangster, but then they learned that they weren't. And I was opinionated by these people. And I told you, I went to yeshiva over there, Shaarei Tzion, and all my boys are outside. They came from Forest Hills High School. I don't want to look like a herb. So I took off my kippah. I'm like, "Yo, what's up? Now they're in shul praying like this. And I had to hide the fact that I was keeping Shabbat or putting on tefillin. Avram Chaim, he taught me everything I know. Music. I sat with him and it was a person that appreciated my company and he lifted me up. It's important to have friends like that. If your friends always dog you out, those are not friends. Those are not friends. Because they're miserable, they want their misery to reflect upon you. Those are not friends. That's why I tell people, it's very important. They say a person is a product of his environment. You know, your parents will say, "You tell me who your friends are, I'll show you who you are." It's a very, very, very true statement. And unfortunately, I lost Avram Chaim 4 or 5 months ago. He died to cancer. But all of our friends that know him, they're like, "Yo, Avram Chaim, I can't believe it." But I'll tell you honestly, I messaged him. I said, if I was Hashem, I would want you too. Another friend of mine, she's in the building here. Very, very close friend. You wouldn't believe it. Yes, I have a girl. She's a friend. It's my mom. She is my nigga. Round of applause for my mom. How about that? Good friend of mine. And I'll tell you why. A lot of people laugh. I'm sure your parents probably are very nosy. Where are you going? What are you doing? I'll explain to you what that is. When you'll have kids, you'll understand what it means. Why is my mom my best friend? Because if I lose, she lost. If I'm down, she's down. If I'm happy, she's happy. Understand me. None of your friends, none of your girlfriends in the street, they can't compare to your parents. There's nothing like your parents. In the Torah, you know what they say? Whoever curses their parents, motumat, deserves death. I got older and I'm like, man, my parents. There's people that don't have parents. There's no parents. You understand what that is? Those are your best friends. Once again, if you're on your phone, please look over here. I appreciate it. You're a good-looking guy. I see you. But I will tell you some stuff that happened to me because I'm sure you guys like to hear all the bad stuff too. Nobody likes to just hear good news. I used to work in a catering hall that a lot of people know. It's called Leonard's. I used to work for a guy over there. His name is Abba. He used to employ all of us Bahrain guys from back in the day. We used to go there at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, come home at 3, 4 in the morning. 3, 4 in the morning. I was 13, 14, 15 years old. My mom, she didn't sleep. She was waiting for me. All the time she would wait for me. But After work, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, we finished, we would go to play pool. We could have got into fights, said the wrong thing to somebody else. My friends, a lot of them, they used to mess around a lot too. They used to like to smoke some stuff, do something in the car, and I'm always driving. I'm like, yo, dude, please don't do that in my car, because if I get stopped and I get arrested because of you, I'm gonna kill you. My parents are gonna kill me. Don't put me in this predicament. Don't hang out with those people. If you have people who are, like I like to call sakana, they're dangerous people to be around, don't be with them. If you see this guy doesn't fit your mold and you're trying to fit his mold and he's being bad, don't chill with him. There's nothing wrong with that. Believe me, I'm telling you. I don't think I'm the coolest person in the world. I'm surely cooler than the friends that you want to be with. They're not friends. I love you. What'd you say? You're a good-looking guy, bro. So we're sitting in the car the majority of the time, and we're driving. And like I said, I always drive. What do you think? We didn't go to clubs? What do you see at yarmulke? What do you think? We're oblivious? We don't know what life is? You think your parents, when they talk to you, they haven't seen life? Whatever your parents seen, my parents seen, I couldn't even dream about. You guys live in Gan Eden. Gan Eden, nobody bullies you, no anti-Semitism like you think. There's a little bit of it. They had to leave their countries to come here. Imagine you're living right now. Can you picture this? You're living right now. You have everything. You have a car, you're 16, 17, driving, your house, you have a job. All of a sudden, all the Jewish people are leaving. Peace. What about my job? What about my friends? What about my money? What about my house? They left. For who? They left for you, for me, for us to have a good life here. That's not a joke. Those are real friends. Ask one of your friends to give something up for you. They say you see your real friends when you're suffering. I lost a few friends this past couple months. A few friends. A very important friend I lost. But I noticed one thing. If he doesn't feed you spiritually, and I say this wholeheartedly, believe me, I hang out with the worst of the worst. The majority of my friends are not Jewish. I don't discriminate against them. They're my close friends. And I see that it doesn't matter if you're Jewish, not Jewish, Muslim, Christian. A good person's a good person. You can't fool nobody. You understand? Real recognize real, rest are unfamiliar. Did you guys ever hear that term? Real recognize real. Another thing that I like to do, when I got married, one of my friends, his name is Michael Solomon, Moshe. And I say his name, why? Because I want him to take pride in what I say. He was such a real friend, until today he is. He drives 120 miles an hour in a minivan to pick up people to take them to the mikvah. You understand? What does he benefit by you going to the mikvah? He's a selfless character. You need those type of people around you. Not to say, oh, just me, yo, can I borrow this? Can I do this? And another thing, if you have friends and they ask for something from you, never do something with the intent of receiving. I'll give you an example, both boys and girls. One of your friends asks you, I need to borrow your hair straightener, or this, or can I borrow some money from the guys? Don't expect it back. If you give to them, give from your whole heart. Why? Because if they don't, you'll be upset. If you give to somebody, give from your heart. You give him tzedakah, you give him money, give from your heart. I wish I could tell you guys one-on-one. I'm sure you guys don't want to open up to your parents. There's certain stuff you don't want to tell them. Personally, I wouldn't want to tell my parents either. But I tell my son all the time. My son, like, he's wild. Very wild. Shh. Last warning. My son, he's very wild. I have to always calm him down. And he does something wrong, and I come up to him and I look at him and say, Shu Mordechai, did you do this? No. No. She did it. I'm like, Yeshua Mordechai, tell me the truth. I won't be mad at you, you know. I did it. Sometimes you can't tell this to your parents. You don't want to open up to your parents. You don't want to tell them whether you're having a problem with a girl or a guy or somebody's bothering you or you have an addiction or something. Call me. Come to my house. Come chill. Let's make a Shabbaton. Don't be hesitant. Everything you tell me is confidential. I don't benefit from it. If I can help you, I'll help you. If you guys need a friend, I'm here. And I'd appreciate if you were my friends too. You know what I'm saying? Before I continue my performance or have my special guest here, there's a few people that are sick and they're my friends. So I want to pray for them by Shila Malot. So whoever you have that is sick, keep it in your head. If you know the Shila Malot, say it. We're going to put a little bit of a musical touch to it, all right? All the old school Russian people, they'll understand the song, but it'll be in Hebrew. One more time, give a round of applause for my friend Simcha, please. This guy is a legend. A legend. Don't sound like you. Don't worry, we're gonna come back with the hip hop too. But I'll tell you, I want to give you guys a round of applause because it's not the first time you came. This is already the 8th class. You guys all come supporting. And I want to give yourselves a round of applause. You have my personal word. Everybody in this room has a bullet with me. You guys need my help? I'm there. For you. And I want you guys to know, besides the fact that we opened up KosherBoyz, we also opened up Kosher Girls. So give a round of applause for that. I'm gonna talk to you after. I like you. So the reason we opened up Kosher Girls is because there's many girls with talents, stuff that they want to express but they can't. So we're gonna have a special unit for you guys. But there are some talented people here that are already here that are going to perform. He's a good friend of mine. His name is Yaakov Gavriel, Jacob J. Sadler. He's a lyricist, a poet, good friend of mine, and I watched him grow. And I don't mean physically, I mean spiritually. So without further ado, a round of applause for my dear friend, Jacob Gavriel. this is right now is like this. It's called spoken word. Spoken word is basically poetry. A lot of people hear hip hop and they listen to what? Papa Mahalia. You gotta listen to lyrics. People put their heart and soul into their lyrics, so I really want you to pay attention to what this man has to say. Without further ado, give him another round of applause, please.
Thank you all. Can I get one more time for Ali? Yeah. It's a big thing. It's a big thing what he does every single week to bring all you guys here in one room. It's a very, very beautiful thing. I wrote a little piece. This actually was made a long time ago. I was about most of your ages when I wrote this, and this was one of the first pieces I ever wrote. At that time, I wasn't really a rapper. I wasn't performing. I was just making poetry, and this came out like a spoken word. So I hope you guys enjoy and hear the message.
Pay attention, please.
I wake up every morning and I see the sun rise. Flash forward to the future. In my son's eyes, I see everything is gone. Why am I not surprised? Self-inflicted decay, mankind is not wise. Demented by the presidents, controlled and left indefinite. I should have seen this coming. I should have expected this. But it's too early to think this way. Gotta stay prepared for what's ahead. I bow my head and pray. Humble thoughts, close my eyes. Star David on my lid. Ask God, let me love a wife and raise a few kids. But I got trust issues. Yeah, trust issues. You don't know the stuff that I've been through. I've been kicked out. I did lose some. I did my thing. But still I run. I have a pretty good life though, I cannot front. I'm enjoying the view while I have my fun. Seriously, do you guys see all this absurdity? Take a name that isn't yours, fraudulent identity. I don't approve of what I'm seeing. Knowledge is infinity, but power is a major key, so don't give it up so easily. Basic ingredients of a human existence. One person speaks their mind and the other never listens. It's in one ear and out the other. They're connected but no rhythm, but the misunderstanding starts causing conflictions. If you really want the truth, people are selfish, just worry about me. Look at the word team. I'm looking for an eye, but these eyes don't see. That means all of us, scratch that, we must all come together collectively. Find a balance in one another, our chemistry. Why are we so aggressive? It got me feeling depressive. Progressive in technology, but interactions recessive. Say some words, take some vows, squash that beef here and now. Our ancestors looking down, they laughing, thinking we clowns. I mean, but look at us. Wouldn't you laugh too? We all hopping on what's new like a bunch of kangaroos. Just appreciate something for more than a second, because right now it's all about what's snapping, following, blogging, and trending. Thank you.
Once again, there's many people that have talents you don't know about it. You know what I tell people? They say, hey, my son is a lawyer. I'm like, and he's Jewish. All Jewish people are lawyers. I'm not surprised when I see talented Jewish people. I'm actually surprised when I see non-talented Jewish people. Every Jewish person has a talent. They just didn't open it. Now, I have another friend over here. Colleague of mine, friend. My buddy, my dentist. The guy who checks after my cavities. Give a round of applause to my dear friend, Mr. Rachamim Kogan. KosherBoyz! It's like Superman or something. It's crazy. Now, I want you to know one thing about this man. I seen him grow spiritually. Can't say I seen him grow. What do I look like? I see him grow spiritually. Great lyricist. We're making tons of music together. We have a music video coming out very soon. which you will never forget in your life, I promise you. Now, without further ado, spoken word by my dear friend, Mr. Kogan. Round of applause.
Can you guys hear me if I'm just without a mic? Is this good enough? No. Hey, yo, this life is unexplainable, especially when other people not relatable. Financial crisis got our prices so inflatable, the presidential candidate's not even capable. These things are not debatable. Like, hey, I got something to say. Every day we're in a city where we die and we pray for yet a better day, hoping for a decent love, some peace and hugs, avoiding all the streets and drugs. I mean, we always want some things that we could never have. Promising my mama, Your Honor, I'll be a better dad. Now, I'm gonna be forever glad. Plus, my wife gonna be hotter than the devil's. My jab's like Everlast. Boxing Tyson, rolling dice, and oh so nice when you know your flow's enticing. Hold your nose, don't overdose, you better know your pricing. I'm louder than a vacuum. Go ahead, kiss your kids and go hug your wife before you choose the hype and you lose your life. Cause I'm spitting it better no matter the weather. The weather, the better, I'm running around, holding it down, drowning the tears of a clown. I'm the underground kid, I just ain't been found. For better or worse, whatever it's worth, man, what it's like to be a diamond always covered in dirt. Surrounded by the very people that you love and it hurts. You can't ignore here, you can't afford fear. Don't you know you gotta be rich just to be poor here? You can't ignore here. You can't afford fear. Don't you know you gotta be rich just to be poor here? NYC. But it's the place to be. Thank you very much.
I appreciate that. Now, since they went on a poetry charade.
Where you going?
What you mean?
Where you going? That's it?
No, not yet. No, we're gonna do the music right after. Thanks, Mom. See, she's a real friend. I wrote this poem for my friend Chaim and a few other friends. Listen carefully. Well, some fight for fame, others fight for glory. Same story, my story, your story. Some want success, others just want to live. I lost my best friend to cancer, real sick but positive. The nature of the human can never be satisfied. Money, power, respect, the future is neutralized and disguised as the truth backed by lies. I'm at a loss of words, real scared, no place to hide. Terrorized, as the Bible once described, the world of lies, where the evil walks with pride, but a human mind can travel back in time to fix this mistakes that proves that he's divine. But I noticed, real eyes realize real lies. So I done realized that I'm not like these other guys. I keep my head high, because God's on my side. Life's a roller coaster, sit back and enjoy the ride. People always ask, what's the purpose of life? It's like a double-edged sword, depending on who's your wife. So choose right, prepare for the biggest fight. World War III for the soul, don't lose your life. See, I'm a grown man now. No time for games now. We need to wake up. The world has changed now. Be careful who you trust. Be humble and stay down. Don't forget God. Be humble. The world's round. We all need a friend, a brother, a mentor. The one true soul whose character meant more. A jack of all trades whose talent did much more. But the connection to the heaven is what he was blessed for. An angel in disguise of a young Jewish brother. Character traits flow off the tongue with no stutter. The type to feel and spread love and feel the pain of another. Reminds me of the love I received from my dear mother. Speaking of my mother, my soul, my true friend. The woman in my life whose love is not pretend. Inspiration to all whose knowledge has no end. Not to mention the faith she carries deep within. Mother, I must thank you for raising me like this. I know it was hard work, I learned that with my kids. I cried at very thought of you gone, my dear mama. I promised to make you happy through love, music, not drama. I'd like to thank God for letting me meet you. Till the day I die, I will never forget you. Thank you. We're gonna be doing 3 hip-hop tracks. We're gonna start with Life, go to Quiet Storm, Good Vibes, and we're going home. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but the majority of the time, I don't like to preach too much to you guys because a lot of you guys think you guys are thugs and gangsters. I'm gonna check you guys when we get out.
I know y'all been waiting a while for this one. Second. Look at the back, look at the back, look at the backdrop. Look at the dance with the devil, baby, I'm that hot. Look at the rap with the rebel, baby, I can't stop. All about the Benjamins, gentlemen, hit the jackpot. Met with Ivy, conversations about hobbies were similar probably. Cause of Nas in the project lobby, rapping by the corner store back in 94. Came into this hip hop, they knocking on the door. The opportunity was new to me. Avoiding death and taxes, text and faxes. Now I'm marinating classes, rapping my plastic with Soviet tactics. Giving opiates to atheists, watching some Catholics. These are punchlines, Nestle bars with the crunch time. Been hustling ever since I've been on the lunch line. meal tickets. You feel tripping a true champ. I'm $100 bill, homie, you a food stamp. The white Russian, I might rush them, they all bluffing. You don't talking Benjamins, then you pressing the wrong buttons. Yeah, that's a Brad Pitt joke. If you wanna learn about it, go to class, take notes, cause these morning jokes easy like an artichoke slice, and the artist chokes twice, getting art revoked. Yikes, not everybody can talk with me. The clothes looking from me, homie, you can't walk with me. Hey.
Stop, wait a minute. Take a step back and do it from the heart. I admit it, and I just wanna change up my whole life. So please, I'ma keep my faith in you, and I promise to stay true. Cause I got love for you, and I'll be for real. This is how I feel, I'm in need of love. So let me pray to God for real. Let me pray to God for real. Whoa, check it. Listen, I know this kid named Dad who at the age of 13 discovered that life is just a joke and now it's time to get cream. He said it was money over life, but nothing came in between. But understand that he was broken and his mom was a fiend. Started sleeping in the park and eating food from the trash. He got older, definitely smarter, now it's time to get cash. If you disrespect the dude, you know he's acting real rash, because you never could relate to what he's seen in the past. Comes a time to pay your life when you resort to acting right without just having a conversation that will lead to a fight. Think it's time to roll up, cause someone please pass a light. If not, the boy be a shot before I.
And yo, I gotta be ripping and flipping the rhythm until I be killing. The way I be living, I gotta be chilling. I gotta be swimming the women, I'm in the moment, and getting the heart and I ride. No money down, it's not a problem. Queens is my jungle, we ball deep. Concrete, both hands steady, well you ready to go. I couldn't even stand me if y'all were up on your toes. Head froze, bloody, broken, bruised, and exposed. My flow like origami, watch my story unfold. Y'all know how it go. Rose, money, property, clothes, monopoly grows, philosophy and Socrates knows there ain't no stopping me, no. This whole vibe getting cold, my whole life I just flow on. Those who doubt me proudly, living a little bit bendable, living a little bit criminal. Gotta be getting a lyrical when I be hitting you with a subliminal syllable packing. Mama overreacting, y'all always testing my passion for rap, but I'm always laughing. Not cliche, just old fashioned. Open doors for women and rockin' fedora classic. Man, stick you sad like orphans next to a casket. Target practice, charity case, wave me a basket. I'm Stephen Curry, one shot, my vision blurry. Crossover, step back, made it way, never worried. Even though my lungs are barely breathing, chest heaving against the flesh of the eating.
Stop, wait a minute. Take a step back and do it from the heart. I admit it, and I just wanna change up my whole life. So please, I'ma keep my faith in you, and I promise to stay true. Cause I got love for you, and I'll be for real. This is how I feel, I'm in need of love. So let me pray to God for real. Let me pray to God for real. Whoa. Once again, give a round of applause for my dear friend Roman Hogan. I appreciate it. Without further ado, this track is called Life. Give a round of applause for Jacob. He wrote this song. Let me join him. It's not easy to do it. I don't hear the round of applause. Let me hear it. Check. Listen. No. This world got too many problems. This world got too many problems. This world.
What's going on in this world is like I can't even tell. Everything I once knew was gone, vibes raising from hell. We seem separate from each other, once in the same, but nowadays, boy, won't even recognize his brother. So many other issues, more than kinda wrong. Address my nation, give them tissues, cause they feel that they've been wronged. Time moves on and fate moves along, but losses of the memory, Twin Towers are bombed. 9/11 was a tragedy for me, it's so sad to see that it's taken as a parody. They had the audacity to fall in love, use the situation for its its full capacity, then they move to another so rapidly. War, hunger, financial problems, and politics tearing up the world as we know, then they blame it on the anonymous. No surprise, in a few years the apocalypse saw this all coming right in my consciousness. I'm not speaking explicit, so take a second listen. We can all fix it, just make it our business. Like economies are not about technology, but look at your history, I won't accept apologies. This world got too many problems. This world got too many problems. This world. See, there's a digital divide between keyboards and human eyes. Unfortunately, people rather type than physically socialize. Remember a time not too long ago, I was going with the flow and I was too dumb to know. Questions like, should I hit the club? Should I try this drug? Making money for some villains, gangsters and some thugs. This is what we call America, violence and silence. And when you hear those sirens, can't expect no alliance. It's the truth of this world, can never trust nobody's word. They'll try to convince, you'll try to resist. All the while causing suspense, they'll insist. She gets intense, you try to raise your defense. But yourself you can't distance, now it's too late to dictate. You found as a witness, and the only way to negate this newfound freight on your back is to act really fast, in a way you never thought you had to act. And let me tell you one thing, it's a fact that most people don't know what the future holds. Could be silver or gold, hustle never stops, but then they get old. Life's a poker game, gotta know when to fold them. Not every hand dealt is gonna be golden. This world got issues, we still fighting over missiles and pistols, over the diamonds and crystals. Why can't we get along? This world got issues, we still fighting over missiles and pistols, diamonds and crystals. Why can't we get along? This world got too many problems. This world, this world got too many problems. This world,
Once again, I thank you. Last track we're gonna have to dedicate to all the girls here because they come support. Hopefully we're gonna sing the song as your chuppah. Serious. Once again, I appreciate it. Once a round of applause for my friend Jacob. He wrote that song by himself. Mr. Ben Aminoff. Sure, good looking guy. Do not leave, we have Aravida after this. And I will sing this song in your chuppah. Welcome back, Ben. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate all the sponsors. The girls that you come here, I sincerely, wholeheartedly appreciate that you guys come here. The guys, you guys are, I can't tell you. If you guys ever need anything, just call me. Enough said.